What's really unfolding in the Middle East? As U.S. and Israeli strikes intensify against Iran, a critical question emerges. Would China or Russia actually defend Iran in a real conflict against the United States? Well, I'm going to break it all down for you step by step. Let's rock. Welcome to the Joe Rossano Show. For years, Iran believed it had powerful strategic partners, Russia and China. But global power behavior is not built on loyalty, folks. It's built on interests. Iran strengthened ties with China, expanded coordination with Russia. But here's the reality. China depends heavily on Middle East energy flows, over 10 million barrels a day. Stability matters to China. So would China risk direct war with the United States? Please take a moment to kindly subscribe, comment, like, share. Click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show. How about Russia? They're stuck in Ukraine. Their military resources, as we have all seen, are limited. Economic sanctions, military capacity stretched. Would Russia escalate into a full-fledged confrontation with America? Now look at the United States. Carrier strike groups, air dominance, logistics infrastructure, global alliance networks, forward bases, rapid deployment capability. Modern geopolitics, folks, is not driven by speeches. It's driven and shaped by capability. Capability creates deterrence. Deterrence shapes stability. Great powers avoid conflict and direct war with America because escalation risks systemic damage. Alliances today are transactional, not peacetime loyalty pacts. Now that the Iranian regime is all but been eliminated, China calculates energy access. Russia calculates leverage. The U.S. calculates deterrence. This is the new global equation: peace through strength, strategic dominance, infrastructure readiness, the balance between the United States, Russia, China. And the question remains, or has it already been answered? Now that there is a real war, did Iran discover that its partners are transactional, not defenders? So, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, what's all this mean? Well, let's start here. If you look at Iranian air defenses, okay, their SAM, surface to air missiles, just their overall air defense systems are Russian and Chinese. And what have we learned? Those systems are completely ineffective. Let me take you back to the very first strike on Iran a few months ago. Okay, the bunker busters. Iranian leadership, and in fact, the Iranian military had no idea that the United States military operations were even going on. They didn't even know that planes were there until windows started shattering. And then that was a pretty good indication that something was going on. But what does that tell Russia and China? See, that's the real question here. Are they going to get involved? Well, think about this. The United States has about 1,800 war fighters, F-18s, F-22s, F-35s, all the ones that we've seen on television on Top Gun. They used less than 10% of their military war fighting apparatus from the sky anyway. And then what? What happened? The air defense systems failed miserably. And you don't think China and Russia take that into consideration? Again, what did this do? Strategically speaking, it's basically choked the supply lines now for both Russia and China. The United States right now, as we speak, at least temporarily, is in charge of the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the oil goes through there every single day. So at the end of the day, folks, the questions are this. Is Donald Trump a Israeli puppet of Bibi Netanyahu? Is he? You tell me. Because I'm very curious, because that seems to be the thing, that Trump listens to Netanyahu, that Israel is in control of the world now through the United States. Is that the case? Now, sometimes I wonder, folks, 100 years from now, how President Trump will be judged. Will he be judged by confronting Russia and China and Middle East aggression? Will he be judged for eliminating cancel culture? It's been a while since I heard about cancel culture. Nobody's canceled me yet. That's a miracle. Will he go down in history as the person who removed biological males from biological female restrooms and sporting events? Or will he be judged more harshly? Now, if Harry S. Truman were sitting here, who left office at 32% approval rating, I think he will tell you that history judged him much better than his contemporaries did. And will that happen with President Trump 100 years from now? When Trump is thought of James Harding or Calvin Coolidge or just another president, will he be judged harshly? Or will it be with reverence? I was just always very curious about that. Please put that in the comments. Let me know. I'm very curious about that. But as an independent, I want to be clear on something. I'm not for new wars. I'm really not. And I'm going to speak for myself here. I'm not the type of person who likes the United States being the world's police department. I really don't. If America first is America first, and it's America first, you get where I'm coming from there? I am the kind of person, I live my life this way. If there is an issue, it doesn't bother me. If there is an issue that comes to my doorstep, that's something else entirely. You see where I'm coming from? Remember the movie Hoosiers? There's two kinds of dumb. A man gets drunk, gets naked and barks at the moon, or he does the same thing in my living room. You see, one don't matter much, but the other you're kind of forced to deal with. That's how I am. That's how I am. Now, President Trump, if you're watching, you promised no new wars, sir. You promised, but you also promised the Epstein files, didn't you? So again, folks, this conflict, I hope, comes to an end soon. And I pray for our troops that are in combat. As always, my dearest friends, fellow Americans, may I kindly ask you to please, again, subscribe, like, share, comment, click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show, as I graciously and wholeheartedly appreciate you taking some time to spend with your pal, Joe Rossano. As always, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, God bless you. Don't forget to adopt a pet. And we'll see you next time.